Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, today I want to try something new-ish. Which is the terrain is fine as is, right? I mean, let me show it. Hopefully, well, we don't have terrain painting yet, but I mean that's another topic in it of itself. Okay, I broke it. Great. How did I do that? $151. What is there? I just expects here. Okay, true, I didn't do that yet. Well, let's ignore that for now. Let's go back to this one. And yeah, that should work again. There's a couple of things I need to address with all of that though, but yeah, I mean, we still need map mapping and stuff like that, but that's what it currently is. And oh yeah, actually, oh, it has baked shadows in here. That's weird. But yeah, whatever. That was a bad texture, anyways. That reminds me of actually copying over the new textures. Give me a second. Where did I put here. And we copy that. Now I can bring it over. Yeah, I didn't want to show my server usually because I don't know what else there might be on that might not be too nice to show because it's not just my data. Where do we put it? Probably in data. Yeah, exactly here. So let's paste this item here. And we have ground textures here. And then let's probably remove those. And then we have a couple of textures here. So we have, for example, this one. Do I have an image? Can I open that with a browser? Whatever. I don't think I have an image viewer actually. Interesting. Never needed that yet. Funny. What? I guess we have to look at it in Engine then. So where did we do that? I think in terrain system, probably. Oh yeah, there. So that would be ground, and then let's do, I think grass, dirt is probably the nicest one, I think. And then we do grass, dirt, underscore, base color. Or actually I could just do base color here. No, it's grass or base color. And then we rename that. And then that would be ground rather. And then I think I would want the height here. And then I'm not sure which one we want here, but let's do ground raster normal. Why not? Let's see if that works. Should work. Yeah, that already looks a little bit better because it tires way nicer. And yeah, the texture looks, in my opinion, nicer. But yeah. I mean, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Debatable, I guess. It's a little bit blurry, maybe. Oh, but that might be the scaling though, right? Yeah, because here it looks fine, so probably it's the scaling that I do. And then we would need bitmaps for that, of course. Let's do and the terrain, and then let's scale that maybe less. That probably makes it less blurry. I mean, maybe. Because of the, for this distance it looks fine, right? It's a scale, like, let's tile it super insane. Yeah, okay, it all will be like that, so I guess. Oh yeah, that is another thing that I need to look at. This issue here. It's basically so close to the terrains, like, thing that it hits. Okay, no, let's actually, or at least 50 is fine, I think. Yeah, then we need to do a couple of things to our triplanar blend. I think I will actually give out the vec 3 probably of the color. Then we give it an int of a material index, which for now we will ignore. Although, I think actually, maybe not, maybe we give it the vec 2 for the triplanar blend stuff, because I think, yeah, we still need to like do all the other sampling, right? So that kind of makes sense. Sorry. So what we need to do is, so that is fine here. That is fine. Now we need to extend this here a little bit. Oops, that's like that, that's like that, that's like that, perfect. Sorry. What we need to do is actually we can get rid of that. Well, I mean, kind of. What we do here is float sign. Like that. And then we have our UV here. Which is our position at that Y. Yeah, times our times the vector of our normal sine and 1.0f. And return that. And then we have a couple of out parameters here. I think what I will do is this. And then we have an out thing here. Well, maybe we actually do an out struct here. Because why not? Now let's do it up, like next to the function, because then we can copy it. Blend data, I guess. Back to UV and back to no, it's not. It's not a pure ray tracing engine. I'm tracing the terrain because it's, it was for now the simpler approach for doing physics. It might be that we will change it in the future. Hold on, wait a minute, maybe not physics actually. It was easier to dynamically update and query the word is probably the better approach to describe it. If I would have created a mesh, every time the player moves, I would need to regenerate the word and the mesh because of LOD. And if I ray trace, I don't need to, I can get rid of the mesh generation, which is quite heavy for a large word in terms of memory and, well, runtime as well, like runtime cost. But as my as my mesh generation was running on the GPU, I would need to sync it back to the CPU for physics, or I do a separate mesh generation on the CPU for the physics. That would have been the other option. And no, I don't, because you can edit the terrain, right? If you would have a game where you can dig and stuff like that, you cannot generate the lots. It has to be dynamic if you want to have edits in real time. If it would be a static word, then yeah, you're right. Then we could do everything offline, yeah. Where yeah, then we could do everything offline. You would still need to like chunk the word, and then each chunk would get its lot generated and stuff like that. So yeah, that would be a possibility. dy. Oh. Why do I do that? Do it like that. And then we have a vector tangent, a vector pi tangent, and a vector normer. Basically, that's the dominant axis where we blend on top. I'm not sure if we need it, but I will put it there for now. Then we return here a three-planar blend data. Get rid of that. Actually, in that case, maybe we can do int. No, we can do that. Because I'm not sure, do I need to play normal for anything? Oh yeah, I do, I think. Well, I might need it, so back 3 axis. Or like, yeah, let's just play normal. Oh. So yeah, then that would be just here at 3 planar blend data. Axis. So yeah, I hope that makes sense what I said. I think it does, and yeah, that's the only reason basically. It might well be that we still need to go back to the mesh approach, because I'm not convinced yet that the performance will be good enough. I still have a couple of things that we can do to improve the performance. But it might very well be that all of that is in vain and we need mesh. The biggest concern I have is the physics part. The rendering, to be honest, I'm not so concerned about in terms of performance. I think that should be fine. Actually, let's do that. What do we call that? I don't know. UV. I mean, it's not really a scale, right? Maybe with UV rotation, I don't know. Might be okay. DDY. Oops, that is wrong. ZY. ZY. No, I think I still need to subtract something here. Which is, I think, the normal UV. If I'm not mistaken, yeah. And we have the blend data tangent, which is a vec3. And that times the normal sine. And then we have the blend data by tangent. For now, I am mostly fixing. Well, I'm adding more data to the triplanar blend output. Because I need the tangent and bitangent and the plane normal to do a proper. Well, I need the ddx and ddy. Wait, that was ddy here. To do the instead of just a normal texture sample, derivative texture sample, so a texture grad sample where I give it the UV ddx and ddy, so that's a little bit more correct in the terms of the triplanar blend. That is one thing I'm doing currently by doing that. And then with the other stuff, so the tangent, the B-tangent, and the plane normal, all of that, they will be used to add a parallax occlusion to the terrain materials. I can show you in a second. Just let me finish that one line here. So that's the out, so the blend I10, well, plane normal with the blend data tangent, I think. And we can move that out here because we can do that all the time at the end. But that stays the same. And this we just take, put it here. And then this is normal texture Y. This is X, Z. And then this one is here. Yeah, sad. And then this should be probably wiser, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, sorry, XY. XY, that was it. And then the plane normal is here, of course, this. And that stays the same. I think that's fine. And then here, that goes away. That's a triplanar blend data. That goes away. And then this one would be blend data.uv. And something else. Because now we want to do the texture grad. So it's UV, and then I think it's just the. I think it's just the DDX and DDY. I think it's here, just that. And then D by blend data, UV, DDX, and blend data, UV, DDY, I think. I think that's it. Let's see, we probably did a mistake. Well, we definitely did a mistake here. And then let's see. That should pretty much look the same as before. Well, or be an error. Because we probably have made a mistake. 81. 81? Well, actually, here, I think, where? Where did I do the mistake? Here. It's here as well. Okay, so I wanted to show the. Well, let's first try to run it and then let's show the parallax occlusion thing. Because it's a nice feature. 81, sir. Unexpected vector. Unexpected vector. Oh. Great. How can I be so bad in putting down the... Oh, okay, that's better. Okay, that is... Oh, wait, is it that I forgot? I think the sampler thing, right? Yeah, probably. Where actually? Did I forget it? Oh. Right. Sad. Out texture. What? Oh, do I still do that somewhere or what? Out texture undeclared identifier. Oh, okay. Yeah, fair. So, what do we have it now? Oh, yes. Actually, that looks already done way better, actually, now. But yeah. Well, it's hard to see probably on stream, but it looks a little bit better. regardless of that, that pretty much is the same as before. So what I do now, okay, let me open this and let me open this parallax occlusion mapping is basically the thing, and it's from here, and we will basically implement it as is. So what it does is it takes the height texture and it's basically displacement, what displacement maps do. We use the height map for that. And then what you get is basically, well, in this example it's a little bit, but this is actually flat, but because of the parallax occlusion it looks like dented, and you have like this thing here. But our, like the quad is actually flat. And this will give us, hopefully, that the terrain looks a little bit more detailed. It's a little bit expensive, not gonna lie, but I think it's worth the... It's worth well, it's worth the visual quality. And what that does is basically we take more or less his shader, well, his one function from the shader, which is this. That's all we kinda need. Actually, we could just take it as is, because that is already basically what we need. Did I not? Oh, then that, okay. So that should do it. Like for that part at least. I mean, we still need to implement the like that core. But that should be fairly simple. Actually we need the texture here, yeah. So that would be U constants texture ID 1, I think, or terrain system. Yeah, okay. At least I think that should be that. But we will give it as well. Well, we give it the vec2 ddx, vec2 ddy. And then we again do a texture gradient. Probably all of that. And we hope it's in the red channel, but it should be. Oh, I need actually the proper call. A proper call for it. It's this. We should probably make a better function for that that actually takes the texture index. Alright. I think that is fine. Well, okay, we have it one more time here. Okay. That should be that part. And then the only thing is calling that here. We need to call it before we do the actual sampling because we get new UVs here. Back to UV is parallax mapping, and we give it the view direction. And we give it DDX, DDY, and we give it the blend data UV. And we give it the view direction. I think. And we just need the view direction here. Which we just need to calculate here. So basically vector 3 view direction is our ray origin minus our hit position. Can actually have that here already. We do that quite a lot actually. Like actually that's the hit direction, I guess. Let's call it that. We could actually cache that as well, but whatever. So we have the hit direction, and then but that is not normalized here. Well, let's deal with that later. So basically hit direction is we do that. And our vector view direction tangent space is vector, and then we do a couple of dot products here basically. So we do a dot of our direction and the blend data tangent, and then of course of the bitangent here, and then of the plane normal. That is our thing. And then that is basically what we feed in here. Well, sorry. This view direction tangent space. And then I think that's it. Yeah. Does he have a height scale here? Oh, here, height scale. We probably need to get that as well. And let's try float height scale of 0.5. That's probably a cop. Well, yeah, let's do 0.1. For now, let's see how that looks. Probably will run into a couple of issues anyways again. Oh. And then this would be not this anymore, this should be those units now. Probably a shader compile error, yeah. As usual with me, 231. Where did I miss? Syntax error, unexpected right parent. Oh. Alright, do I need that? Probably not, man. Is that it? It's probably not it, right? Okay. Do we have height? Well, we did. Oh, yeah, we actually do have some sort of height here. But it's probably wrong. I don't know. Either it's too much or it's wrong. But I mean, yeah. Okay, yeah, it's definitely something is weird. Could it be? Could it be the sampler that's the problem? That I'm not sure, because maybe... I mean, oh wait, this one we probably need to scale as well. But I don't think that is the issue. Because that's just a minor thing. But it's definitely wrong. But yeah, that looks weird. That doesn't look fine at all. Let's do something. Probably not the case, but why not? Let's still take that out again. Just so be sure. But it might actually be the... I'm not sure if the sampler is correct. That might be another issue. Because I'm not... let me check my sampler. Terrain system. So what we do... Because we... Terrain... texture... serializer... Because I'm wondering if file get channel count equals 1, maybe we should do something else for the format. As we do that. So basically, if it's one channel, do an RU norm. That's it. Okay, yeah, we hit that. I'm not sure. Okay, well, that made it even weirder. Although that might now be just the height. How much height do we apply here? That's 0.05. Let's do less, maybe. Just to be sure. Nah, it's weird. It's for sure doing something. Something's not right. Probably my bitangent stuff is not correct. I would have to guess. But yeah, that would be the effect that I would want, basically. Texture cores are done, and then the tangent view pulse minus tangent frag pulse. Guess we could do that as well. Is that really a thing? Oops. I don't think that is an issue at all. Okay. Because we are... because we are looping, right? Yeah, that's garbage then. Why did he... whatever. But I mean, that won't be the issue why it's broken, I'm assuming. No, because it's broken here as well, so... It gets more broken depending on... Nah, not really. Well, I mean, kinda, yeah. It is a little bit more broken depending on the direction, so which makes me think it's a biplanar, bitangent and tangent thing. Unfortunate, because that's what I would need to look up now, because I'm not... I was pretty sure it was correct, but it's probably not, as it seems like. Which is sad. Oh wait, this... No, that's fine, right? At least I think it is. Yeah, that looks fine. Well. Then let's call that. Hey, level show. Welcome. Then let's take that out for now again. It's not really worth it. Hello, welcome everyone. And let's take that out and work more on the base of the terrain system again. Yeah, I was sick for 1.5 weeks. So that's why I wasn't streaming a lot. But I got like a weird cough that was like, and like, not really a sore throat, but like coughing a lot, and then my voice was bricked as, yeah. So, needed like almost 2 weeks to recover. Like 1.5 weeks I was even sick from work, and then, yeah, approximately 1 week more or so for streaming because my voice was still a little bit down. But yeah, we're back, more or less. What did we do? I think since last time you were here, I actually did quite a lot. Ignore this is a debug thing, but yeah, we have terrain here with like some sort of nicer texture. There is no light and no shadows on it, but yeah, that's that. And we as well have physics support. So you give, for example, a capture, and then you give a character controller. Now we should see it already here. Yeah, that's our character. And currently it doesn't move, but as soon as you set that to virtual, you can move here. Yeah, that's all SDF based here, and the collision is as well SDF based. It's a custom George collider. And yeah, it's a bit slow currently, the player, but yeah, here's the sphere. It's hard to say without lighting, right? But the sphere is here and it collides here down here with the sphere. And we have other physics objects as well, of course. Yeah, but I'm pretty much cleaning up the terrain stuff, adding back lighting to it now that it's ray-marched terrain instead of actually a mesh. And I just wanted to add parallax occlusion mapping to the terrain, but it failed horribly. So I need to go back and see why, but probably need to do some more read up, because I think as I said before you rated, which thank you very much, my tangent and B tangent for the terrain I think are wrong. So yeah, I need to figure that out. So we need that. Yeah, for now that's fine. But yeah, let's actually go back to not terrain system. What was on the list while I was working last time? Oh yeah, this thing I wanted to do. The question is, how can I do that nicely? But the cleanup of the code is quite easy. I think that we mostly did already. Or not really, actually, never mind. But the CPU terrain function is a little bit of a bigger thing. Well, not too big, but it's probably that I would need to not data, Onyx, let me quickly check some volume public, yeah. And then, is it shader graph? Yeah. Okay, yeah. I think actually then it's maybe simpler than I thought. Maybe. I think what I would need to do is calculate here the thing and output it, right? That's basically it, I think. And then we would have support for the CPUs already as well. That might actually be it. So we get out the context here. And then, how do we do that? Arithmetic nodes, let's look at that. because those are the simplest one, well, or the nicest ones. Yeah, it would be something like that. Where let's get input pin like that. That should be. Oh, where actually. Data type, I think. In. Yeah, exactly, I want this here. Const auto in data. And then we do in pin 1 data. Well, actually, give it names, right? So for the cube, I guess this is the center, so that would be. Or this is fine. I think, right? Well, actually, it's hardcore, right? So actually, we can't do that. Like that. And then vec3 half extends. And that would be pin 1. And then we get an out pin, which probably is the next 4. Jesus, my god. Fat finger. Isn't it an out pin? Out pin 1, out pin 0. Oh, I spread it out? Okay, well, unfortunate, I guess. But probably, how did I do that? Yeah, it's a float and then the distance. And then vector 3 radian. Is that not it? Float 32. Ah, blind. So how was your stream? What did you do? What are you up to? Where is it? It's not an ISO surface? Oh, it's a source, right? CSG, CSG. And then we have a VSG cube here with center and top extends, probably. Yeah. And then vector 4F 32. Oh, but I need an imposition. Hold on, wait a second. Does that work? That's the cube, center, and blah. And then I get a word position from outside. How would I do that? Graph data. Okay, that works. Guess. That probably works. So basically that would be that cube. Get value and gradient. Add the word position. And then gradient. Something like that. That should work, I think. And for the other shapes, we basically do the same thing. I don't think I have an ellipsoid here, so let's leave that out for now. It's this. And this is center, this is load. 32 probably, radius. Ah, not that distant, I think, right? Where? Plane offset, I guess. Something like that. Okay. That is center, that is radius. First radius, then okay. And then radius. Radius. Center. Oh. Again wrong. All right. I did it wrong in all of them. Great. So that should be fine. With that, we should be able to build a graph again. Yeah, this is all very, very bad in terms of code. That's like super old, super ugly. Not ideal at all. I mean, that's kind of nice that I clean that up now. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Don't think we ever use V2 anymore, so I guess we could kill it. Or was it defaulted? No, right? It was defaulted to force. Yeah. Okay, good. Well, this one is gone then. Perfect. Actually, while we're at it, what is that? Okay, well, we don't need that. Gee, that is really old code. I think I've not been in here for probably 6 years. I was like for the Unreal Terrain prototype. So yeah. I don't think even this is you, so let's get rid of that. That might like not compile anymore because yeah, we basically changed a bunch of things here now. It's so much code that we need to change for all that Clang formats there. Very unfortunate. Yes, that's nice. I mean, maybe that all works already. Let's then fix the conflict while we're at it. Should be clear by that time that it's non-owning. Makes all perfect sense. Okay, I think that is now clean. Probably breaks in a bunch of places. Let's try the build actually. Let's see where we bricked our code. I will do a little bit long, well, not too much longer because we didn't have dinner. Maybe I should do that always before now when I start the streams. What is the marching cube circle? I think I can, but I don't want to necessarily kill it, I guess. But I don't really want to fix it either, I guess. Well, I mean, I guess it's fine. We can fix it a little bit up. Why not? Well, let's say you int 8 probably. I think that's most it. But for this case, probably a couple of other things. Yeah, I think once we have hopefully the what? Cool. I mean, all of those things are not really used anymore because we don't do mesh generation on the CPU. But it's still nice to have, I guess. If it ever comes back, we have it there. I don't know, we'll leave that. Pretty odd, I don't want to touch that. Didn't want to do that today, but I guess we ended up here. Great. What? What is the problem? Ah, okay. That's the problem. Let me quickly check something. Alright. Is that the only issue? Okay, that's the only issue, never mind. Ah, volume probably. Yeah, unfortunate that the parallax thing didn't work. Okay, we're back here. Well, okay, that's fine. Don't need to test anything further here. We didn't do any changes. Terrain system, I guess. So one thing would be, where do we call that? Yeah. Let me create SDF collider. I guess. I guess we would need the graph here and then call that from here. But probably... No, I guess it's fine to call that from here. Then maybe we do an optimization for the actual shipping of the game where the graph gets collapsed to like one header. That might actually be quite smart to do. In general, maybe. But yeah, it would be here, let me think. So we get the terrain. Well, actually not the terrain shader, where is it? Is it generation component? No, but it's terrain settings that has the graph. Yeah. So basically it would be... We give it here the graph, I guess? Wait. Yeah, terrain settings. Volume graph. Why would that not work? No viable conversion. Sad. Hey, Rock, welcome. So that's not a thing, or what? Though? Would I need to do an SDF function then, I guess? Is that what you wanted to tell me? STD function, not SDF functions. That would be unfortunate. But yeah, I would boil down to that I would need to get the volume graph here. And then forward that. Well, let's call that, I mean. I guess we could still try that by just hard coding it here. Similar to that. Hey, Enderme23. Thank you guys all for the follow, really appreciate it. So if the log volume graph is valid, Then we wow, I need a graph runner. For that. Graph runner. Really? Does it have a... Oh, it needs the graph already. Yes. That's really long ago. And then runner. Get context. Do I need to prepare? Maybe, but I don't think I do. And then I guess I'll do an update. And then I would need to get out the final position, like the final sample stuff, which I currently don't have access to. Do I have a final node here? No, right? But I kinda do, right? Yeah, this out node, I think. Exactly, this needs to write something into the context. Then this would work. That might be it. But I think we will do that tomorrow, plus so I will look up now a little bit more the parallax mapping, and then we will do that. And then hopefully with that, we can slowly close out 0.6 for the engine version. There is still a bunch of other to-dos though in the terrain system up there. But yeah, I'm working on, I did work on this now. This one is kinda done. Working on that one as well. Like these two I'm kinda working on. And then this one is kinda simple-ish. This one is super simple. This one is a little bit more... Well, I think most of that we have already, but yeah, we still need to do it. Alright, anyways, thank you for joining. I will be back tomorrow. Probably same time as today, so probably a little bit earlier, around 6-ish. But I will actually eat something beforehand. And then hopefully we can get the parallax mapping working, and yeah, the generation of the volume graph again. And then we see how the performance is, because then we can add a noise function and stuff like that again. So that will be kind of interesting. Maybe the performance already tanks, then we have a problem. Alright, have a great rest of your evening. Thank you for the raid, thank you for all the new follows. I'm trying to stream Wednesday to Sunday every week. but this weekend is already a little bit full again, so probably the schedule will not be as on Twitch advertised, and it will probably be a little bit free floating from the time slot when I will stream, but I will stream on the weekend. Yep, have a great rest of your evening. Enjoy your day. Bye bye. Take care. Actually, let's raid someone, because why not? Is there someone that I can... Let's raid Cakes. Why not? Have a great day. See you.
Glenn.